We are here. We're just a couple of minutes early, and I am here with one of my fellow Thinkific experts, Rob Galvin. And if you've been working with me at all on course creation, you know I mentioned Rob's Super Power Up Pass and on how we can create engaging experiences for our students along the way. Rob has been, you've been around at Thinkific as long as I have, haven't you? I think we've been around forever together.
It seems like it, yeah. It's like maybe 2016, 2017-ish.
Yes, 2016 was when we started on Thinkific. Yeah, it was a big
before process. There was an expert program. I remember kind of talking to Sid at the time, like, you need a program like to highlight everybody that's doing some really key things with Thinkific. I'm so glad they created the program. So yeah, like you, Kim Garnett, like, some of those other ones, like the OGs of Thinkific experts before there was a program.
Before there was a program. We were there before there was a program. But, the process of this journey is, guys, we have been here sharing our knowledge and our expertise within Thinkific. Now, Rob is an amazing designer, app developer, the Thinkific App Store. I think he owns half of it. He creates apps that help us create student experiences that don't suck when it comes through the process. So he's a really cool guy, cool stuff. There's landing pages that I want to get in and play with on our school that I haven't got anywhere near. But Player and Ding and SideNav are still my three favorite things that I use of Rob's apps each and every day. And they're the things that my students love and engage with along the way. Dorothy is saying good morning to us this morning, Rob. Good morning, Dorothy.
Thanks for joining. Hey, Charles. Good to see you. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I am going to hand this over to Rob because and we know each other well enough that I can give him control of this session. I'll be here to answer questions along the way. Rob, are you ready if I jump off screen and hand it all over to you?
I am ready, more than ready than ever, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Let me have the reins here. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. Let me know in the chat. I know I see Charles, Judy. Hey, Judy, just joined. Let me know what you're working on. Like, do you have a single course? Do you have multiple courses, a membership, coaching program? Like, I've seen so many different things. Let me know, because I kind of tailor my presentation a little bit to the people who show up, all right? You guys are the go-getters. I want to reward you guys with some, kind of custom content as we're going through this. So, hey, Judy, thanks for joining. So yeah, my name is Rob Galvin. I'm a Thinkific expert since around 2017, before there was an expert program. A little bit about me before we get into the presentation here. So I've been working directly with one-on-one clients for the longest time. This is how I started my business. And I've seen so many different ways of using Thinkific across all different business models, as well as, types of programs that are being run. Lots of different people that are really super successful using Thinkific. And also, since about a year and a half ago, we created this thing called Super Power Up. So it's essentially a way for everybody else who I can't work with one-on-one, get some superpowers, right? Linda mentioned a few of them, but essentially it's add-ons to your Thinkific site page templates, experience enhancements. Essentially every single month, we're kind of creating new ways that you can become a hero to your business, right? And I've also kind of individually purchased over 10,000, it's probably around 20,000 now, actually, dollars worth of courses myself, for either like personal growth and development, or really just to kind of dissect some of the course, the best courses that I've seen, the best launches that I've seen. I really want to get into it and understand the business, right? And I tell you this really because you need to tap into this exposure. Myself, Linda, everybody that's working, helping other people. In fact, like, I kind of feel like we know a little bit more at a different angle than Thinkific does, right? Because we have exposure to all these successful course creators in the field, right? Like, we see what goes behind the scenes and we know what's successful. And I'm here to tell you today that the secret ingredient is really not your course content, really, 100%. It's the experience that matters, right? The experience that your student goes through and the connection you make with them during that experience. I have some clients that, many of their students may not go through the complete course, right? And you would think they would be unhappy, but they are actually happy because they had a great experience with it. that they actually buy the course again in the next launch. Like that blew me away when I saw that for the first time, right? And the ones that I see that are most successful, the ones that are doing the 7, 8 figures a year, are the ones that are focused on the connection side of things, right? Making that personal connection with their students, or making it feel like it's a personal connection. So those two things, if you don't get anything else out of this presentation, this is what I want you to focus on. Okay. So you're probably wondering, like, why should I really care about this student experience too much? I'm already frustrated and overwhelmed, kind of like figuring all this stuff out, marketing, everything, working, getting all the things together, recording all my videos, and kind of spending so much time. And you're like, Rob, what the heck are you just telling me now? Like, I now have to focus on something else. I have to focus on student experience. I don't know if this looks like you. Let me know if you kind of feel like this woman right here. She's kind of like, oh my God, what is going on? So let me paint the picture of your future. If you don't give a crap about student experience, this is what you're going to see. Okay. Because this is what I see in the field. Okay. When you don't care about them, essentially what you're saying is you just want their money, right? You just want them to buy your course, and you have their money, and you really don't care about if they complete the course, if they watch your stuff, if they do the things, if they have any results, right? You don't care about their success. And that could actually work. I know a lot of entrepreneurs that are doing this model, and they're making a killing, right? And they're getting in all these people, but they really have 0 repeat customers. And that's their business model, right? They're ready to just bring in new people all the time, sell them the course, just make loads of money. And you can do that too. You can drive the Ferraris or whatever, and have your picture with ClickFunnels, on the side there and stuff. But what's going to happen is you're going to always need cold customers. That means people that don't know you, because you burnt the people that you know already, because your experience sucked, right? So you're always going to need a cold audience, and that means you're going to need a large audience. You have to spend a lot of money trying to find new people all the time. Like, that is a lot of work to do that. Okay. And yes, you can be successful with this model, but this is what's going to happen if you really don't care about student experience, right? All right. So what if you care? What's going to happen? What's your future going to look like? You're going to see higher student success because you care about the experience. You care about their success. You care about them completing the course. What you're going to create is not customers, not students, right? You're going to create fans and members. I always refer to people that join our program as members and fans, because this is what you want. You want people that like you, right? That like your content, that see results, that enjoy not only your content, but your experience, right? And this is going to equal repeat customers. Now, many of you, I don't know if you have single courses. I haven't kind of looked through the chat yet, but if you're working on a single course, you're probably like, hey, Rob, listen, man, I'm just working on one course right now. I don't want to think about course number 2, right? But maybe your model is a mini course into the bigger course as the sales funnel, right? You always have an opportunity to sell more products and services, because this is a growth business. If you want long-term success, all the success I see from my clients and the people that have joined our programs, they're having long-term success because they have many offers. You will eventually get there if you focus on this concept that I'm about to show you. What happens when you have these happy members and fans, and they're buying your stuff? Now they're talking in social about your program, spreading the word for you. You don't have to do anything. Like, they're already promoting you because they like the experience, right? You don't have to hire people. You have to run. You may not even have to run any ads, pay for advertisements. Like, this is organic growth. This is what you want, because it doesn't require any work and lots of times no money, right? So this also means that you're going to need a much smaller audience, because now you can get so much more money by selling to an audience that loves you, because you have a higher conversion rate than a cold audience. People who know you, like you, trust you, love you, are willing to buy more from you. So it takes less to make more. Isn't that great? Like, isn't that what you want? So this is what I call the forever fan funnel, right? It's opposite of the traditional funnel. The traditional funnel, I should have put a diagram up here, where it looks like a V. It's focused on a big pie in the top end and getting people down to the small end. In the forever fan funnel, you basically have a small audience that you keep selling programs to, or have a subscription product. So this is a perfect kind of environment for membership programs and subscriptions. So this is a forever fan funnel. It's based on providing a great experience. So how do we do this? Well, first, I want you to do one thing. You need to clear your head and you need to focus on this one concept. You're not selling information. It's really, really important to think of it this way and to always remind yourself on this. Like, write this down, put it on a sticky note, put it on your monitor, remind yourself every day, every week. You're not an infopreneur. I hate that. I hate that when I see that.
That term, it's horrible.
Oh my goodness, right, Linda? Yeah, so Linda had to chime in there. Yeah. So you're not an infopreneur. It's not about information. You have information in your course. You're providing information, but you have to get out of this mindset. It's going to set the tone for everything. Everything. I'm talking about how you communicate, what's on your sales page, to what's inside your course, to creating this experience. Okay. Let me explain a little more about this. So information right now, okay, is freely available. I don't care what's in your course. I've seen so many courses. I have access to millions of dollars worth of courses, right, that I can take, but I don't have time to do that. But everybody has access to free information. Google, YouTube, Chat GPT. I don't know if you guys have seen this, artificial intelligence. It's going to blow you away if you haven't, but information is so easy to access. If you try hard enough, people can find anything they want that's inside your course for free, right? So because they have this, hey, it's available on Google if I try hard enough mentality, if you present yourself as an information source, it just doesn't feel valuable. It's like, hey, I can find this on YouTube. I can find this on Google. But they've tried this already and they become confused and kind of conflicted because they see a lot of different ways of approaching this information, right? So you need to remind yourself your course is not about information. What your job to do is with this information is you need to focus on three things. You need to provide some clarity with this information because they're so confused. They don't know how to connect the dots. They don't know what steps to follow. Make it as clear as possible for them in the most convenient way, right? Without them having to work so hard. They already tried to do all these things probably on their own. Maybe they took another course and they failed. So if you come out with the same sort of thing and it's not clearer or it's not more convenient, then they're like, hey, I already tried this already, and they're not going to continue with their course. And while you're doing all this, you need to establish this deep connection, right? So,
Rob, before we go on, there's a really good question from Dorothy that I think other people are going to be sitting there saying, how do they quantify a large or a small audience?
Yeah, great. I mean, yeah, you can think about numbers, right? So, but just think about the concept, right? So everybody gets caught up with numbers. What's the perfect price? What's the perfect number size audience? What's the perfect size email list? Don't think of it that way. Just think about okay, a large audience means okay, you have to spend a lot of energy. That's what it equals. Large audience equals lots of energy, lots of money and commitment to try to service all these people. What would you rather have? A smaller audience that is willing to, at converting at just do the math, smaller audience converting at 80 to 90%, or a large audience converting at single digits, so
engaged always.
Yeah. Totally. Right. So I'm sure there's a calculator. You can Google over this. Maybe I should make one. Put in there your course price. Just do some numbers. If I had 1,000 people, if I had 10,000 people and they converted at such and such, you're going to quickly see wow, if I had an engaged small audience, it's so much more financially better and just a richer environment you want to be in. Right. A more pleasurable, right, for you as a site owner or creator, and also for all your fans, because now it's more intimate, right? They're not lost. So yeah, great question. And feel free, Linda, to pop in because I can't really kind of focus on the
No, that's okay. I will give you the chat.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So cool. So what they want is not this information. They want results, right? They want results. You're going to teach them how to do something. They're going to grow in some way, learn music, paint a picture, build something, become a better person, something mentally, so many different, things they're going to learn. That's what they want, right? So you can add all the fluff, all the things inside your experience, which could go the other way and it backfires. But at the end of the day, they want the result, right? Not the information. Okay. And it may sound like the same thing, but it really is not. So let's think about how to create some experience in all these different things. Let's talk about the launches and funnels. How do we get a better experience inside of our launch? So Here's one scenario. It might be a scenario you're following. Let me know in the chat if you're doing this. What I call a static launch. Static launch is you spent a lot of time creating that sales page, maybe using one of our templates. I don't know. You put one out on the web on Thinkific, and it's static. Like it's it's just text. It's maybe have a video on there, but essentially it's static, right? You're not really doing like a launch, so to speak. You're just hoping people find it, and they read it, and then they buy the course, right? And then they watch the course on demand. Like they're watching or reading whatever is inside your course, like in their room by themselves in front of the monitor, reading all the stuff. And really like the only interaction they have with you is email if they have a question. And you're probably saying like, please don't email me. Like I don't have time to answer your questions. But this is like a static sort of like launch experience, right? And on the kind of experience-o-meter that I have there, which is like a really like poor experience to a good experience, this kind of lands like pretty flat. Like think about like how exciting. Let's say you were in a room, right? Let's say you were learning how to cook, right? And we put you in a room with all this nice food and all this equipment and like all these great, ovens or whatever and pans and stuff like that. And it's like, all right, you maybe cook a meal and it was good. And now you cook another one. And it's like, all right, So how exciting is it to kind of like just learn by yourself in a vacuum, no interaction, like pretty static? It's not so exciting and engaging. So how interested are you to enter that room the next time and you want to cook meal number 50? Probably not too much, right? So now let's go the other way. Let's talk about something that has a much more engagement and excitement. This is a live launches. Okay. So let me give you a scenario. There's a couple different ways to do this. So one way is you have a date-based launch where you're bringing in like an intake, a cohort. People call this different things, but essentially you're opening the purchase window for a certain period of time, and the course is being delivered to a group of students, and then poof, nobody else can join at that time. So you kind of go through and you launch the course that way. Before your launch, you're doing a live stream, maybe like this. You might have some launch events and activities where you're asking your members to kind of participate in something. Maybe you have a free mini workshop, and maybe you even have a community associated with the launch, right? Already this feels like it's more engaging. It's more of an experience. It's not information. You're not sending me to a page to read information on myself. It's actually like alive. Like it feels alive. It is alive, right? And then what you do is when you launch the course, you release the content over time. So people watch module 1 on week 1, and then maybe 2 days later, you have a live Q&A or check-in, right? People are engaged. And in fact, because you have that same group of people learning the same information at the same amount of time, it's kind of creates this wave of momentum, right? Everybody's kind of learning the same stuff at the same time. You can focus on the same problems at the same time. People inside the community, which is also another community for members, are engaging with each other, right? It's not just you that are supporting them. So this is like an experience. It's not information. I'm not sitting there watching, pre-recorded videos and filling out the worksheet all on my lonesome. And then like, hopefully I'm still excited to do the next module, right? So it's a completely different thing. So you have to think about these models. This definitely sits on the other end of the spectrum of being a very engaging, very exciting, experience, not information, consumption, which is what the on-demand is. And what you're doing is you're setting the tone right from the start, right from the launch, that you're delivering an experience. You're not delivering information overload. Okay. So now let's transition. So now they purchase your course, or they're going to join the thing. And now what do you do to increase the experience level? Well, let's talk about onboarding. How many of you guys are doing onboarding after the course? Like, do you know what I mean when I say onboarding? Onboarding is after somebody buys the course, maybe even before they get into the first lesson, you tell them what to do next, right? You kind of set the stage for them to, go through the experience or the course. You should recommend like, okay, what is the schedule for consuming this content? I see this mistake all the time. People think that their students know like they should go in order, or maybe they should watch module 1 and then, wait, do something and then watch module 2 next, or, do more of like choose your own adventure. So if you're not telling them how to, kind of go through the course, how you want them to, do it, maybe you're telling them to set reminders for themselves, because at the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
going to be up to them to do the work, right? Linda, were you trying to say something?
No, I was saying this is a really good point. And Rob, I have lots of people who take marketing courses, and part of what we've put into my reminders in my onboarding is this course isn't designed for you to sit and take in 2 hours. It's designed for you to sit, implement, do something, come back, see how it's working. And same with course creation, guys. All the training that you are seeing today, it's not designed for you to take it all in and implement it today. It's about breaking it down.
Yeah, exactly. So after they purchase and you kind of set the stage, you really want to give them a quick win, give them some momentum, like keep the excitement up with a clear next step. And hopefully the next step is like this massive undertaking, because already you're going to kill the momentum. Ease them into it, right? And kind of give them something that gains their confidence, so they want to continue. They want to continue. The biggest problem we have is people not wanting to continue. I mean, this is before the course industry, like, the whole like physical, like gyms and things like that. People are selling a gym membership on January because they know people are excited, and then people cancel the membership by February. So now if you had a personal trainer with you, like maybe you're going to go the whole year if you had the ability to have somebody that is right next to you coaching you along the way, and that motivation. That's great. So this is what we want to do. We want to kind of give them like a clear, like next step, easy win. And also at some point, they're probably going to get stuck. Right. So remind them right out of the gate before they start anything. If you get stuck, what do you do? Do you want them to go into your community? Do you want them to send you an email? Do you want to give them a list of FAQs on common reasons why people get stuck so they can help themselves? Like, people are going to get stuck. Already prepare for that ahead of time and give them right out of the gate a way to get support. And also, this is where you want to trigger some of those automatic emails. And I'm not talking about the progress reminder, right, that you get with Thinkific and some other platforms. It's like, think about the progress, which to me means nothing. Like percentage doesn't mean anything to me. Like I watch the thing and it's a percentage. It's like your mother reminding you that you have to clean your room and it's only 10% done. Like think about it. Your room's only 10% clean. Your room's only 10% clean. You get that message every day. I don't care what, like, forget it, Mom. I'm not going to clean my room, right? So make these emails personal. It's about like, hey, here you go. We're here to support, nudges, encouragement, a way for them to get support. Like, hey, reply if you're stuck, think about that. Like these are personal touches. And this goes with this experience that I'm talking about. Okay. It's really, really important. All right, let's get into the course content. See, we're kind of getting close to like the 30-minute mark. So I want to speed up a little bit. Course content. So how do you make your course content a better experience? So let's talk about some of the types of course content. So we have, this is the experience meter again. Hold on a second. I just had to get something out of the way. So we have text-based lessons. This is on the left-hand side. This is probably the least engaging way you can deliver your course information. This feels very information-y, doesn't it? Like, here's a page with some information. Go ahead and read it. You kind of feel like you're in school, or maybe you're reading a book. And it's just paragraph after paragraph after paragraph. You don't know how many courses I've seen like this. And I'm amazed at this. So you can have a better experience with text lessons. I'm going to share some tips with you in a second, but generally it sits on the low end. You can have it up a notch with a nice looking PDF or workbook. I think we have some sessions on that. Video and interactives are on the other end of the spectrum, right? So it's more engaging. Like videos is a person talking, there's listening as well. You can see, you can show so many things inside a video. You can play it at 1.5x, which I always do, so you can get through the information a lot quicker. Interactives are just kind of more like, drag and drop things or ways to make the information more entertaining, more interesting. Okay. Quizzes is another thing, which like, if you don't have to give a quiz, then don't give one. I would say it's only really for like those certification programs and all, like just to test your knowledge. Yes, it could be okay. I'm not a big fan of it.
Let's kill quizzes for quizzes' sake.
What's that?
Let's kill quizzes for quizzes' sake, just because someone's
yeah. I mean, you can make them look interesting and have some media in there and stuff like that. But generally, like I would try to avoid it. Like just remember, again, how can I make this lesson, teach them, get them a result as quick as possible, like as clean as possible, convenient as possible, as clear as possible, right? Don't add these extra things just for the sake of, oh, you think it's going to make a better experience, right? So you have to think about these things, right? So not everybody learns the same, right? So you may say, hey, I hate videos. I don't like watching videos. You may not like this video right now. It may be putting you to sleep. I don't know. But you have to realize this, that not everybody is the same and they're not going to learn the same way. So yeah, it does create a little bit more work for you to appeal to all these people. But if you're not aware of this, then you might think text is the best, right? And you're putting out text lessons. And meanwhile, 90% of your audience is like, I can't stand the text. Like, I want video. So you need to have some blended things, right? So think about these concepts, but at the end of the day, we want to make it, as engaging as possible. So let's talk about a few ways to make text content more engaging. First of all, don't put them to sleep. So yeah, of course your content matters. What you're putting inside the text matters. Is it interesting? Yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer. But when you're putting the information down, don't put paragraph to paragraph to paragraph. Break it up, right? Have some variety. Make it easy on the eyes, especially these old eyes, right? To kind of see and read through the content. Maybe you want to put bullet lists. Like, it's kind of like stopping the scroll and interrupting the pattern. Or maybe you want to add some graphic visuals, like some nice images, or even animations, animated GIFs, even funny GIFs. Maybe you want to use some colors and fonts to break up that text. So when you're reading it, it's not just this boring same font, same colors the whole way, and it kind of like, I'm gonna fall asleep. So think about how you're presenting the text information. And then of course you can always just take this text, put it into Canva, and make it look beautiful without learning how to become a graphic artist. So that's one concept you can use with text content. So again,
this on Beck Flint joining us for that. Got two guys later to show you how to do stuff in Canva.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. So Canva is another one that's like one of the, if you're not using Canva today, you're missing out. They are ahead of the curve. They have some AI stuff in there as well. They have videos in there. Stick with them. They're really, really good. Yeah. All right. So speaking of videos, here's some tips on video engagement and making it a better experience for people watching your video. So watch the length of videos. Again, going back to what's the magic number? I don't really know. Like, I know an hour is probably too long. I know probably 45 minutes is too long. I know 30 minutes is usually pretty long too. So it depends on where you're teaching, but watch the length. You try to make it, as I say, as short as possible to communicate what you need them to learn and also what you want them to do in that time frame for that lesson. So this gets into like, how do you structure your course and all? Break it down so that they can make some good progress and it's clear to them where they're at. You don't want to leave them hanging. You want to get them to a point where they're completing something or learning something that's like, oh yes, that was awesome. So think about the video length. Mix in your video styles. I've seen so many clients that have spent a ton of money on professional video production with the cameras, with the lights, and the whole entire video, their whole entire course, even though they broke it up into 5 minutes, is just them with the background and it's them talking. There's no graphics on top. There's nothing. Like, mix it up with different styles, just to interrupt the pattern. You saw in the beginning, I had some B-roll in there as I was talking. Like, that's a simple thing you can do. Yeah. You can see some of these elements that pop in, which, speaking of, like, as you're going through the video, if you want to pop in key points, that's a great visual, like ding, 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 pay attention. Here's a key point, and it's written, over the video. So that's a great way to make your videos a little bit more engaging and exciting.
One of the tools in the toolkit that Rob and I both use, guys, for that one is Descript. So it's on the toolkit.
Yeah, I have that in my resources. You jumped ahead, Belinda. Did you see my slides now?
I predicted your links and I put them all in there.
Yeah, you know me too well. So I'll mention Descript in a second. But below the video, they're really, really important. Summarize the video. In this video, you will learn 3 to 5 bullet points. Like, literally, how long is that going to take you? Yes, it's extra work, right? I see so many lessons. It's just videos. They drop in there because it's so easy to think of it. You just drag the video over and poof, you have your whole entire course. Spend the extra 10 minutes for each lesson, summarize things, because it's going to remind the person what's inside this thing. Like, they cannot tell from that lesson name what the heck you're going to teach them and if they should bother watching it. The worst thing you want to do is have somebody start watching a video and then halfway through it, they're like, holy crap, that was a waste of my time. I don't want to watch this. That wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Now they're never going to watch another video, right? You lost them. Gone. Poof. They're gone forever. Meanwhile, if you summarize the video and say, here, in this video, we're going to learn, bum, 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 and they read it like, oh, shoot, I'm not ready for that, or I don't want to learn that now. I want to jump to the next thing. They're going to be happier. They're going to have a better experience, right? They're going to be more likely to watch all your videos because they're not going to be caught by surprise. Even better, add some time codes for the key moments. So you can summarize that, but then you can say, at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, we're going to talk about this. Boom. Quick little couple of words, right? Now they're like, man, that's exactly what I want. Ding. Now they go right to that spot, and if you're using our app time codes, they can click on, boom, they go right to that spot. Like, oh my God, that's exactly what I need right now. Who cares if they watch the rest of the video? They got what they needed. Maybe they'll go back and watch the whole thing. At the end of the day, they're satisfied with the experience. Okay. So these are little things that make a huge impact on the overall experience of your course. All right. A few other things. I'm getting kind of tight here. So a few other things I call waypoint reminders throughout the course at key moments, usually at the beginning of like a chapter or a significant module. You want to remind them, here's what you've done so far, right? Here's what we're about to do, right? It's a great way to kind of reset things because people are not doing this all in one sitting, typically, right? Unless your course is super, super short. Usually it's multiple sittings. They get interrupted. Life gets in the way. Maybe they come back a week later, like, holy crap, what the hell was I working on? Oh yeah, this is where it was, So having these in text, like in the beginning or even verbally inside of the videos as well, both of them, you're going to remind people of where they're at and what you're about to do. Again, just a great touch to make the experience better. Okay. The other thing is to take time to listen. Lots of times the course creators, site owners are not doing this because they don't have a method for people to feed back to them what they really think about their course. I'm not talking about ratings. We're talking about actual comments from people, how they felt the course was. Was it not what they expected? If it was not what they expected, you have another product on your hand, right? All this information is going to help you fuel your business, improve the course you have, create new products, create a better experience, create happier members. Have that forever fan funnel. If you do not listen, you're going to miss the boat completely. And it's going to hurt your business, right? So take time to listen. If you have a community, you have this listening happening automatically without you even having to lift a finger. People know where to put their comments and people engage in that conversation. You learn so much by just having that community for people to complain, right? So, whatever, it's a complaint, but it's feedback. All information that's coming from your students is valuable, so valuable. And people tend to not set this up or to completely ignore it as a huge missed opportunity. So definitely take time to listen as part of the experience. It's not something you're thinking about, but it's that experience for you, really. So anyway, at the end of the day, make this whole entire thing feel personal. Be a friend and a coach, not a business. Yes, this is a business, but you want to be a friend, right? Not a business. Here's some of my favorite experience boosters. Linda kind of predicted one of these, Descript. Loom, I've been using Loom since they first came out. I was on like one of their founding members' boards and stuff like that. Loom is awesome. It's a video recording tool. You can use it for so many different ways. You can use it for sending personalized messages to people. That's an extra touch. Just pull, 10, 15 people, out of your course pool every, week or two and just send them a message. Like literally take you 20 minutes and it's so valuable. We also have it popping up inside the course. Like, hey, what do you think? And it has emojis for people to leave reactions and comments. Like it's a great, great, great tool. Besides, you can use it for a sales funnel as well. We have it embedded in some of our templates because we believe in it so much that it's so much better than the standard video player in terms of getting people to leave comments and react and click calls to action and stuff. Descript is a great tool for video editing, but also has this thing called audiograms, which I didn't mention in my content enhancement boosters. If you have audio, you put an audiogram in and it basically shows your audio in a visual form with the text. So you're hitting both the visual and the audio sides of things, making it a better experience than people just listening and tuning out. Canva, we talked about already. It's like you can do so much stuff with Canva, workbooks, graphics, videos, even websites. Honestly, you can create a website with Canva. Some of the new ones on here is this artificial intelligence, Mid-Journey, Stable Diffusion, maybe a little above most people, but man, oh man, it is changing the game when it comes to developing your own creative assets by basically just describing it, which is called prompts. I think I saw somebody post something before about prompts, but basically just describing the image that you want. And man, oh man, like, it's a game changer. Like Photoshop, look out, like all these other tools. Canva has this built in already. I think they're using Stable Diffusion in the back end. They simplified the whole thing, but anyway. And of course, we love our super power-ups. Linda mentioned a few times. We have lots of them. Ones that really enhance the student experience, there's a few of them. Some are at the student dashboard level, like SideNav and Flicks and all. And we have ones that are inside the course. So our newest one is Player Snips. This has some great way to make that text content better, to have those pop-ups, to have the confetti, to have even sounds like trigger at certain points. Like, it really makes you stand out than just that text on-demand video that you're watching and putting to sleep by. So anyway, let's wrap this puppy up. With some final thoughts. Get your questions ready. Linda, get them queued up. I'm ready to
guys, get your questions.
Just hold on before you jump to the questions. Just a few final thoughts. Key point. Yeah. Sorry, I jumped ahead. Don't settle for an information product. Key point. Don't settle for an information product. This is what I want you to get out of this. Make it an experience. Don't feel like you need to have information put out there. You don't want to be an information resource. You want it to be an experience. People are going to love that, even if they don't consume the information. Okay. So that's all I have for you. Now let's get to the questions. Linda, I'm going to jump back to full screen. You can pop back in if you want.
I'm coming back in. We have two thinking experts here. You have the ability to ask us questions. We have both been using this platform since 2016. We had Aaron in before. God, we're becoming the old crew today, Rob.
Oh, I'm looking pretty old. I got the gray hair for the old crew. So
I cover mine up. Can't you see? It's all blended. Okay, so ask us your questions as you go away. I'm going to put the QR code up on screen. Rob's mentioned a few tools that I don't have on there right now, but I did get him on Descript. That's working really, really well. My team are busily behind the scenes. They've written some Chat GPT stuff or prompts, not even for Chat GPT. There are lots of other tools out there that you can use that simplify this AI process too as well, just make it a bit easier for you, that will help you through the process. So they are writing one for course creation. My two key things, and we've got our lawyer coming in to hopefully run a session inside business for this. Check your tone, check the visuals match, and if you're creating visuals for anything, do a reverse image search. It's the quickest things that you can do, because all contents, especially if you're doing books or stuff like that, Amazon are going to hold you responsible if you do happen to infringe a trademark by response. And AI is amazing and lovely. However, it has problems along the way.
Yes.
So the resources are in the links. All of those things are there. We want to make sure that we jump into it. I'm going to have to check out Stable Diffusion because I haven't checked that one out yet. Robertson wasn't on my list. We have to share lists.
Well, you have to watch. As entrepreneurs, we do fall into the shiny object syndrome, right?
Oh God, yeah.
So you have to watch. You know, like so many are jumping on this Chat GPT bandwagon, and it's going to be a game changer. But you can also fall into a rabbit hole. So just be careful. Focus on what really counts right now. It depends on where you are with the stage of things, right? Maybe you don't need all these things, right? What can you do to move the needle? Moving the needle is getting people in, selling to them, right? At the end of the day, it's all boils down to creating an audience and providing some, way to help them. And whether it's a course, a membership, coaching program, or combination of all of that. So, but at the end of the day, like I said, the key thing is really don't make it just an information library, which a lot of people do. There's great information and all these millions of dollars of courses I have access to. And, it's not about that. I've seen what works. Like, I know the people that are doing well, they're focused on all these things, that
we
that
have walked the trenches with everyone, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Still can't get on. Look, Dorothy, ChatGPT is fairly full on at the moment. To get into it. If you were wanting to play in this field, there's a couple of freebies out there. Brainwork's got a freebie, Peppertype's got a freebie. They're both in my list of things. They're ones we've been using since a while. And when we go into course creation automation tomorrow, it's good. ChatGPT, why it's there is great, but yes, there's time delays. There's all of those things that you need to. Sometimes you just need the simplified version. Those, Peppertype in particular, you can put a piece of text in and say, rewrite it for me, which I like. You can just.
And you're going to see more and more. Like this field is just starting, and now we're turning into an AI session. But this field is just starting. You're going to stay in touch with it, but don't get consumed by it. How it helps you is getting, at least now, kind of get started with some things to make it quicker. You still have to refine things and tweak things and all. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this session. Like, if you want to try out some things, I wasn't really here to promote anything, but one of our apps, Player Snips, we have a free edition. You can, if you're using Thinkific, you can, sign up for free. You can go through the whole experience and see all of them. But it's really kind of a cool way. Copy and paste these little snips into your lessons, and poof, it looks so much better. Or you have these effects and everything. So check those out for sure. And if you have any questions, you want to chat some more, definitely feel free to, mention me inside of Linda's group. Or, you can join my Facebook group as well. So we have over 1,000 members.
Absolutely.
And it's really a helpful community. I love helping out people, even if they're not a member at all. So definitely look forward to hearing you and seeing what your questions are. So let me see. This question. I know there are apps that you can pay monthly to have a workbook for your class. Can you do the same thing for Canva?
Tono will be able to answer the one from the Wobo point of view, which is still my choice for interactive
Yeah.
workbooks, because the teacher in me likes to be able to spy on what my students are actually doing
Yeah.
in their workbooks.
Oh, it's purpose built for Thinkific, for sure. So that is a great, yeah, that is a
Absolutely.
great resource. Canva is not going to give you that.
Tono's up
They're going to
next.
give you the design elements, but it's not going to give you what
Yeah.
Wobo does for sure.
Canva's
All right,
great.
cool.
And we've got
Thanks for all
Rebecca Flint coming in, who's a Canva expert. She's coming in to teach us all about Canva very shortly as well. Guys, I would say an absolute shout out to Rob for everything that he's done. Thank you very much for coming in and delivering the session with us. We have Tonna now, and then at coming in at 11 with us, and then we have Bet coming in at 12 to talk about Canva. That will wrap up day one. Tomorrow, while we've got everyone here, tomorrow we go into course creation automation with me, and first thing in the morning we go into teaching live straight after that, and then we've got Lucas, who's another fellow Thinkific expert, coming to talk to you about marketing your course, and then we all come back in the panel at the end. So if you've got questions, pop them in the Facebook group. I'm going to put a thread up for the panel questions, and I'm just going to throw the questions you have to our panel, because that's the best value we can give you out of the summit. And check out Rob's super power ups. If you even go back to his very, very first one, Player, which I use, you get confetti and your students get to feel good. I feel good setting it up.
We have confetti on steroids now in Player Steps. We have the emoji cannon. We have the logo cannon. Like it's crazy. Like these little things do count. I didn't mention this in some of this, but trying to put your face inside of some of these elements, even if you're not using our things, right? Inside the summaries, like here's a quick tip, putting a little image of you, reminding people it's not information. It's a person, it's a coach, it's a friend helping you. Like, do these little things. It does make sense. And you might be overwhelmed right now, but if you start with this mentality, and you don't need to do all this stuff, but just think about it and just train your brain so that you're focused on this, or at least you're aware of this. So you can say, all right, here's a good spot for some sort of personalization for me that's going to make the experience feel a little better, So, All right. Well, thanks a lot for having me, Linda. You have some great sessions.
Thanks,
and
Rob.
I look forward to seeing them.
See you around soon, and we will have Rob in for expert sessions in the Course Creator Circle throughout the year, guys, because I need him to show me player snips so that I can get a shortcut to loading it through my school and a few other areas, because I'm running out of time, because I like doing this sort of stuff with you guys as well.
All right.
Thank you. We'll see you all in about 10 minutes. Bye.
All right.